Hey Cultivator, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on a very important topic that many job seekers can relate to, and that is how do I approach the unemployment question? Whether that's you feel really nervous showing an employment gap on your resume, or you're in the interview and they ask you, why did you leave your last company? So first and foremost, I want you to breathe. Deep breath. And I want to share with you that everyone, okay, not everyone, but a lot of people have gotten fired or have become unemployed through unexpected mergers, redundancy in the workforce. There's a lot of reasons why somebody would leave an organization, including voluntarily resigning. So I want to just take away the stigma that if you feel like you're unemployed and now you have this red scarlet letter on your resume or on yourself as you go through the interview door, it is totally okay. I've had an unemployment gap for 6 months and nobody really asked about it because I didn't put my attention on it. My husband actually traveled the world with me for a year and came back after being unemployed for a year and got his job, his dream job at the time. And you know what? During the interview process, most people asked him about his travels and less about, so what have you been doing for the past year? And are you sure you know the latest civil engineering laws? You know, it was really not a big deal because we didn't make it a big deal, right? And FYI, for those that don't know, even Steve Jobs has been fired from his own company. Oprah Winfrey got fired from a huge televised network, and they are kind of the geniuses in their industry, right? So let's take away the stigma once and for all, but I also want to take this time in this video to walk you through how to address your unemployment gap so that you're not giving it the attention that it deserves. So now that we've cleared that the employment gap isn't as big of a deal as you think it is in your mind, then let's move over to how we actually address this. So I've had a lot of job seekers tell me that they've heard somewhere down the road that you're less marketable when you're unemployed. And while it's true that the best time to job search is when you're in a job, trust me when I say every single person that really wants a job, even if they're unemployed, can still land a job. Okay, it does require some strategy, which we're going to go through, but I also wanted to share a lot of job seekers I talk to overextend their dates that they've been working, or they kind of fib a little bit here and there and have some embellishments on their resume. I want to make sure that you're not doing that, okay? One of the biggest parts of the employment verification check is that they're going to call your past employer. They're going to verify 3 things. 1, did you actually work for this company? 2, what was your title? And 3, what were your dates of employment? And if there's any discrepancies there, there's a chance that they may rescind the offer, right? Because they might be wondering, I wonder what else this candidate is lying about. So you never want to lie, but instead confront the situation. By the way, in the description box down below, I have my free resource library, and there's a whole library full of things such as a resume checklist. So I won't go over all of this in too much detail, but I just want to share there's so many ways that you can craft your resume in a favorable way while still being honest and true, right? So maybe, for instance, your resume, you take off specific months and you just leave the years. Perhaps you use the cover letter to supplement your resume and share why you recently left. There's other ways where you could put in parentheses next to your dates of employment the letters RFL, which is an acronym for reason for leaving, and then share something that's out of your control, right? Maybe there was a company acquisition, maybe there was an entire budget cut, whatever that might be, you can share that. So right off the bat, those questions of why did you leave are already addressed. And again, it has nothing to do with your performance, right? You can also share that you voluntarily resigned in your cover letter and what it is that you're focused on next. So there's a lot of ways to address that in a resume. The other thing to consider too is I've seen a lot of resumes where people actually had contract assignments. It's like 5 months here, 7 months here, 9 months there. You can cluster those together to make the employment dates longer and explain your projects inside of the description below. Or if you have been working on specific projects at different companies, you might want to just consider putting next to your title contractor in the parentheses. So just know that at the end of the day, your resume really is a marketing tool to just get you to that front stage of the interview, and on the actual interview itself is where you can elaborate and expand upon those specific details of why it is that you left. So let's move now into the actual interview portion, because again, I feel like a lot of job seekers have the stigma of, oh no, I've been unemployed, like how do I share this and how do I really position myself as a desirable candidate? Okay, so I can't emphasize enough, you control your narrative. There's a difference between stating, I was really unhappy with my toxic work environment and my boss and I couldn't handle it any longer and decided to just quit. And I've been job searching for the past 8 months and nobody's calling me back, right? Like that's not the best way to position yourself as a desirable candidate. So what might you want to state instead, right? I always tell my clients you want to focus on the future position. Why are you sitting in that chair today? What is it about that position, that role, that company, that environment, or what you know about the position that is perfectly aligned for you because of the past reasons? So for example, perhaps you were part of a layoff and your company restructured, you found out that you were getting a severance package. You can state something like, well, I really loved my last position at Disney and I was disappointed to learn that I was part of a company-wide layoff. It actually came in as a blessing in disguise, because what I realized after spending 3 years there is I really wanted to start moving my career into the direction of working for a company that is in an innovative tech-forward space. And that's why I'm so excited to be interviewing for Airbnb, as I have utilized your guys' platform for the past 5 vacations and absolutely love how easy it is to find these hidden gem spots. So as a project manager, it would be really amazing to help build out these new features and create this platform that could be utilized for all travelers around the world. Right? I completely made that up, by the way, but you can see how there's less of a negative focus on the unemployment and how hard it's been to find a job versus being very intentional, deciding to take this time and this opportunity to get clear on what it is I want, and oh my gosh, I'm perfectly positioned for this, and this would be such an exciting opportunity because of XYZ reason. Right? You can see the desirability of this candidate even though they might have been unemployed for the past year. So it's really up to you and how you want to present yourself during the interview process, as well as on paper, as well as on your LinkedIn, as well as in networking. If you're interested in getting full job search support, be sure to check out the resource library down below, as well as the links to both of my Happily Hired programs. It is the comprehensive job search program to take everything that we talked about here to the next level. In summary, just know that you are as marketable as you were day one of your job search, and you can absolutely land your dream job. I'm so excited to support you, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it, like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm releasing this video next week. Until then, continue to cultivate your life and your career.